Hey everybody, Leo here. Just real quick, this is how we need to be creating support requests. I've been seeing a lot that are kind of half done and not getting updated the right way. So let's take a look at the screen here. This one is for Fred Hackney. He called in, left a message today. I called him back and did a few things for him. So when I first created it, first I checked all the information at the top to make sure that it was accurate. They are a house member. Changed the terms to due on receipt. They were set to an expired old term of net 30. We don't do net 30, we do due on receipt. This is the contact, the actual client, Fred. And we always do last name, comma, first name of the person that we signed up, deal with mainly. And then in parentheses is the other person that might be in the house or the business. And you can put multiple names in the parentheses with commas between them to say this is our primary contact, but these are other people that are in the house. The nice reason for doing that is if they call in, you can search for people and find them by their first name, because the bad thing about Help Desk is it doesn't let you search anything but the client information. It won't let you search in the contacts. So then here you have Fred. Is make sure that the right person is selected as the contact under the client. So if you want to change that, you can just click on this. I clicked on the name and then pick who the actual person is that you're dealing with for this issue. And that sets it so that you can email them, phone, call them, do whatever. So you want to make sure you're dealing with the right person at the business or home. The status, the type. Actually, this is the support status. So I changed, like I said, I set it to contact client to follow up, because that's instructions to whoever is in the shop. That's the next step that we need to be doing, is contacting the client to follow up. All of these statuses kind of say what's the next step for this SR. Contact vendor, need to order items, need to schedule, need to work. I'm not sure what this one is. Needs work in store. Well, that's probably good. We can have one that's a queue system that says it's in the shop and somebody needs to pick it up and continue working on it. Parts have arrived, parts are ordered, pending a nerd update, ready for pickup, scheduled. All of these things, that is how you identify to everyone else the status of this support ticket. Now, in the service type, I picked in-store remote session, because that's what it was. And I like that some of you have been like typing over this whenever it's in here. Just leave that as part of the subject and just add to it like a hyphen with the actual description. That way they're very easy in reports and stuff to see when it only uses subject. We can see that it's an in-store remote session. Put in what the request is from the member. Always set the priority. Most of the time it's going to be normal, but if it needs to be high or medium or urgent, go ahead and set that priority. The due date, always put a due date on these of like when we're going to, what we've told the member is the due date of when we're going to get back to them, a date and a time. Record your time of working on it or any parts or third-party labor, and you just click add item and then put in your time and information there, and always put that in. Add any people that should be on this as part of this. You can either schedule them or just add them to the list. If they're on the list here, they'll get updates with this ticket as it's updated. Technology, go ahead and add the technology in so that we know what machine we're talking about or device. And then, save it. And the cool thing about doing this, like getting this all updated, is it gives us a lot of information to work with, and it helps the next nerd out that's working on the job. As you can see here, I also sent an email from inside the ticket to Fred. Do not communicate with members outside of Help Desk. Again, do not communicate with members outside of Help Desk, because there is no way for any of the other nerds to know what's going on with that member if you're sending them emails and phone calls and stuff like that outside the system. So from inside the system, you can send people an email by clicking on this. It will create an email to the person that's up here, and you write whatever you want to, and then we can all see what you said to that member. You can add a note that is just internal so that the other nerd can see what's going on and where you are in the process. You can also send a text message just to that member to say, hey, texting you at your cell phone, and they can respond to you and it will come in here. So make sure when you're creating a support ticket that you're putting in all of this information. When you're creating a new member, make sure you're doing last name, comma, first name, and then parentheses with the other contacts that we'll be dealing with under the client. And always update this information and make sure this stuff at the top is correct. So always check all of this stuff at the top and make sure that it's good. All right. Thanks a lot.